2019, it's here. Picked out some knives to stick on the table so this wasn't just talking, so that I can actually show you guys some of them. The 2019. What I did bring out here, I probably have about 8 to 10 times this many knives between my different bags, my other knife drawers, my main knife drawer that houses about 80 to 90 of them. Yes, it is rough carrying them all. So one thing for 2019, I'm going to try not to carry the same knife 2 days in a row, so that I can actually carry some of these that have had hardly any pocket time at all. And yes, stuff like the bug out does make that hard. Anyone who has a bug out knows it's a great little knife. It's hard to put this in the drawer to pick something else up and carry. Not that that's a bad thing, but the type of stuff you see on the table here, that's pretty much what I'm gonna stick to this year also, as far as folding knives go or fixed blades that come from somebody else. Things like this. November and December, these were a great deal. Right around Black Friday, they started close to 50% off. There were some coupon codes flying around too. This was very cheap. I couldn't resist picking it up. It's nice and thin. It cuts and slices very well. It's not perfect. I'd compare it about to my Rat 1 Action when I first got it. I haven't carried this or used it a ton. I'm sure it'll break in some more. But stuff like this, I still have no problem using this. I did kind of get stuck in a rut in 2018 where it had to be if it wasn't at least certain steel, I didn't carry it too much. Like this Vector. It's a cool little knife with a button lock. I enjoy it. I won it on the Tangram giveaway on Instagram when the blue first came out. I enjoy this. It's a cool little knife to carry. So I guess what I'm getting at is I'm not really going to change the type of stuff I buy. I'm not looking to get into mid-techs or customs or high-end folders. I do like them. I think they're great. I am fortunate enough to have somebody who lives close by to me that buys and sells those type of knives all the time. So I've got to check out some stuff I never would have otherwise. There's no way I would have been able to buy that many different knives to check out this past year. I think they're great. Don't get me wrong. I have my share of titanium frame locks. I do think they're cool little knives. And not little knives. I think they're cool knives. I'll say that. Yes, the tolerances go up on them. Sometimes the materials go up, maybe the finish, maybe the service. Could be a bunch of different things, but a titanium frame lock like this, the Mastrop Ferrum Forged Falcon, the carbon fiber and titanium Factor, iconic. Probably my favorite Spyderco, the Domino. Ones like this. This is all the titanium frame lock that I need. They're great. I enjoy the ones I have. I don't feel the need for any more. And to be honest, I do enjoy using more utilitarian stuff a whole lot more. I mean, I would grab for a PM2 or, you know, even a Manix 2 before I'd probably grab for any of the titanium frame locks I have. Not because I think they're bad knives, just I enjoy using stuff. Enjoy using knives like this more. Something like this, M390 Link. I traded my first one away when the first batch came out. I picked one up. I carried it a little. I used it a little. I traded it away. So I picked another one up when it came up for a good price. I also decided to try something like this. M390 Dividend. Couldn't pass it up at $66. But it's stuff like this that's going to keep me from buying any other higher end knives. Not because I think these are better, just me personally. This kind of stuff I enjoy using much more. Like I said, I've handled a ton of stuff. The Steel Wheel M390 Modus. The action for what this cost is crazy. Super smooth, doesn't have blade play, lock play. Yeah, you know, it's G10, I understand. But this is, you know, this is all the drop shut type of fix I need right here. Between this, the 0804, that kind of stuff. So sticking with what I have. I understand I've been rambling. We're at 7 minutes now. Wow. I also enjoy my budget type stuff. Like this. So, I guess this year what I'm going to do is I am going to start out buying the materials. And since I don't have a whole lot of machines right now to do things on, but I believe with what I do have, I can get some nice stuff done. And this, keep in mind, this is only for me, and I will show you guys when I do finally get it done, but I am going to hand build a titanium frame lock folder for myself. I'm sure there might be a design out there that I like, but I want the experience of doing it, and I want to make it exactly how I want it. So I'm gonna hand make a titanium frame lock folder. This knife right here, Jason Davis blunt force blades. This Land Shark. When I got this, it was definitely before this, but I hadn't thought about it in a couple years. But this got me thinking, and unfortunately due to health issues, I am only going to be able to do stock removal, but I do want to make some fixed blades to my specifications this year also. Sure, maybe some will be available once I get going, but there's definitely some that I want to make for myself. Like a nice smaller neck knife. I've been looking forever for a real Allen Foltz minimalist in 154 cm. I can't seem to catch one for sale ever, and I've only seen a few posted out in the wild, you know, not on a website where it says out of stock. So I definitely want to make something like that for myself. Maybe not this big, but definitely want to make something for myself. I'm also much further into smaller knives this year than I have been in the past. Used to be, if it wasn't like 3 1/4 inch blade or bigger, I wasn't even interested in it. Then I started realizing, as I got some other stuff, that things with smaller blades, smaller knives, I really do like. I enjoy using them. I enjoy carrying them. So getting a few last year opened my eyes too. I'm open to pretty much anything this year. So that's definitely gonna change what I actually do pick up. Kydex also. My brother makes Kydex. He has for a few years now. I can't tell you the amount of things I've watched him make out of Kydex. I pick things up pretty fast. I am going to make a Kydex press and also start doing Kydex. I mean, I'll start with something like this. I enjoy using this. I don't think there's anything wrong with this, but anybody who has a Mora knows these aren't the greatest sheaths. So I definitely want to start making some Kydex so I can do all kinds of different things. That's another thing I'm going to do this year. I haven't actually decided yet. I may even trim down my collection this year, as hard as that is for me to say. Because outside of budget stuff, I don't move things outside of my collection too often. I'm not sure why. But I may actually trim down on some of my stuff. Like I said, 5 PM2s, 5 pair of 3s. You know, haven't even had a chance to I haven't even put the clip on it yet that I have for it. I have a clip for it. I haven't even put it on yet. You know, in my defense though, this did come, I believe this came the Saturday before I had back surgery. So that's a huge reason why I didn't get to carry it. So get to using stuff like this a little more. You know, maybe I don't need M390 crew wear, M4, XHP, and 4V. A couple of them, honestly, I got just because I wanted to try the steel out. And yeah, some people might be upset to hear this. It's not my favorite knife to use. I definitely like the Para2 better. But I don't think there's anything wrong with this. I do like it. I know it fits in the travel size, just like this does. And going towards smaller knives. But that's about it. It's a huge video of rambling about what I'm going to do in 2019. I was tagged by, if you have watched this long, I know it's getting long at 13 minutes. In the Pocket is the one that tagged me, and I'd ask all of you to go over and give In the Pocket a try. Kenny's a great guy. Love listening to his stuff. He does ramble some in his videos, as he or other people call it, but to me, when people kind of ramble like that, it's real things coming out. It's not scripted. It's not put together. So I enjoy the people that ramble on a little bit. But stick around. There's definitely going to be tons more testing in 2019. And of course, yep, 204p PM2, 20CV PM2. Believe you guys know where this is going. M390 PM2. Definitely going to put these three up against each other. See which one comes out ahead. They're so close in composition. They're equivalent. I want to see which one does better. While I don't think there's anything wrong with this M390, it's definitely never impressed me. I get far better wear and edge retention out of S90 than I do out of Spyderco's M390. But that's definitely a test I'm going to do. I have some other M390s besides just this one here. Definitely may throw the steel will in there and see how it does. I know that steel will M390 did not, and I can't speak for this particular knife, but the ones I have seen hardness tested did not come out as hard as the Spyderco M390. So that will be something that'll be coming. XHP. Absolutely love XHP. I can't say if it's more my favorite than S90V, and it may actually be. But XHP, S90V, M4, those are some steel. I absolutely love those. I have quite a few knives in S90, M4, and a lot in XHP. But we're definitely going to put some XHP against each other. I think I have four different cold steels in XHP. Ton of Spydercos in XHP. And I do believe I may be able to borrow some other XHP to test out along with it. But that's definitely coming in 2019. More XHP. Also, S35. I know it seems lately it has like a love it or hate it. Love it or hate it kind of attitude towards it. I personally don't think there's anything wrong with S35. I don't love it, I don't hate it. I would like to get a cold steel in S35 to put against like the Factor. I've had zero problems with the S35 that we uses. Actually like this guy. So I'm going to put my S35 against each other. I do have a S35 PM2 also. That will also go. We're going to do some S35 testing, some XHP testing, the variants of M390 together testing, all that kind of stuff, and see where it actually goes. I know Super Steel Steve did some Kershaw M390. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with his test. Figure when I do mine and I do the steel will, I'll also do the Kershaw with the same media that I'm using and see where they all fall. But I think for this year I'm going to continue I'm not going to have one single focus for my channel. I'm not just going to do reviews. There'll be some first impression stuff. Going to be very few reviews on stuff unless it's just really requested from different people. Testing's a big thing that's going to keep going. I'm not sure in what capacity or what I'm actually going to do, but I am going to continue to test all my stuff. And just like Steve has touched on a bunch of times, the testing is only for the individual knives. So even though a whole bunch of us may have this Recon 1, I want to know how my Recon 1's going to do. Not how everybody else's Recon 1's doing. And I say that, I didn't bring it out here, but I say that because I don't believe it's that one. I've noticed on some of my stuff, like when Steve did the test on his D2 Rat 1, and it came out funny. You can't see it on this, but on my Stretch 2 in VG10, the satin grind, when you look at it, you don't see the grind lines. You see what looks like galled up steel lines going in a heel to tip direction. So I definitely want to test that particular knife to see if something's wrong with that VG10, because that's not one that I did back when I did all my budget steel testing. And I did notice I have a couple other knives where the steel looks funny. It doesn't look like other knives from the same brand and the same steel I've had. So I definitely want to test them and see if there's something wrong with it, not wrong with it. But without getting off track too much again, we'll get back to first impressions, not a lot of reviews, testing, general knife talk. I know I did ask a while back, and I didn't get a chance to do much of it before I had my surgery. But I will go ahead and do some Spyderco, older Spyderco disassembly where it still had red Loctite for those that want to see that done. I'm also going to do a video about how I strop. I freehand strop. I have a bunch of different sharpening systems. KME, Edge Pro, Lansky with I have most of the different Lansky stones outside of the Arkansas stones. I have a bunch of different sharpening things like the DMT. It's like a plastic version of the crutch to freehand sharpen on a stone. I will cover some of that stuff. It works very well. But I may do a little bit of sharpening videos, a little bit about what steel likes what grit finish, what I found seems to work the best. So we're going to do a bunch of stuff on sharpening. And I was talking to Kenny earlier too from In the Pocket, and I think we're going to set up a time frame, and I'm going to see what other small channels want to do it to. People who either haven't freehand sharpened in a long time and just aren't very good at it anymore. People who never freehand sharpened and want to learn how to do it. I used to freehand sharpen. From working with my hands so much, I have noticed in the past 2 or 3 years, my arthritis has gotten bad enough. It's become a lot more difficult for me to freehand sharpen, to the point where I'm gonna have to reteach myself. If it's a kitchen knife that's like we'll say about 5 inches or bigger, I can get an edge that looks like this on a kitchen knife that's 5 inches or bigger, freehand. Beautiful edges that are just ridiculously sharp. But even if you give me an easy folder like this, for whatever reason, 3.5, 3 inch, 3 1/4, whatever, anything about 4 inches and under in a folder, I just can't freehand very well anymore. My arthritis has gotten to that point, so I'm really going to try to reteach myself. I used to only be a one-hand sharpener. I think I'm going to teach myself to do a two-handed, bringing the apex towards me all the time. But I am going to find out who else wants to participate in it. But I know so far at least Kenny and I are going to do it. We're going to, and I haven't thought the whole thing out. We're going to take a chunk of time, say 3 or 4 months, and we're just going to practice freehand sharpening. And it's not a contest. It's more to benefit each individual person than it is a contest, and I just think it's something that'll be fun. I may even pick up 4 or 5 of the same knife and send to the different people that want to participate, just so we're all using the same knife. Stuff like this is easy. If I was out in the field in a pinch, I could still sharpen this freehand. It wouldn't be as good as what I can do with a sharpening system, but it would be better than just a mediocre freehand working edge. It would be a good usable edge. I start having issues on stuff. Wow. When it gets bigger with a curve in it. I don't know what it is. It isn't that it looks bad. I just can't keep the angles that I used to keep. So definitely want to see about having us use maybe the same knife and practice, and at the end of 3 or 4 months do a video, maybe even do a freehand sharpening video, because I know that when I did do it, you can freehand a knife rather quickly and see what kind of results we get. And I think something like that would be fun, would definitely be fun to do. So that's something I think we're going to do this year. And as far as that goes, I'm not quite sure past that, you know, what I'm going to try to get accomplished this year. But definitely make some smaller fixed blades to my liking out of materials that I want to use. Definitely hand making a titanium frame lock folder. I just feel like that's something that I need to do, that I really want to do. I think it'll be very rewarding. I'll definitely appreciate it, and it will be a design that I myself want. Testing things. I did test the D2 Copper Natrix. This is the D2 G10 Cryo. I will get around to testing this also. And as far as the rest goes, I honestly don't know what it's going to bring. We're only a couple days into 2019. And I kind of feel like I'm still thinking 2018 in a way. So I believe what I'm going to do, in about a month or two, I think I'm going to revisit this and see what kind of direction that I've decided to go in with some other stuff that I haven't talked about today. So collection's not changing much. Definitely not going into more expensive knives. Banter 24/7 talks about that iconic coquine so much. I may have to grab one of those and try it out. And that's another thing. I'd also like this year, I'm going to promote as many different channels as I can. But some people right now for you to go and check out, just off the top of my head, and I'm not singling anybody out, because I am going to do a video just dedicated soon to other channels that I watch, that I think all of you guys would like to, if you're not already subscribed and watching them. But Banter 24/7, great guy. I love what he has to say. Go check him out. And I'll try to add links in for these people in my description. Definitely Kenny from In the Pocket. Love what Kenny's doing. Been watching him since he started. Definitely go check out Kenny. I'm sure most of you by now know about Super Steel Steve. And I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to tag all these people. I don't know how many tags you can put in a description. That's another thing for 2019. I'm going to definitely get better at making videos and actually edit them, possibly, instead of doing one takes. I like one takes right now because it's you're getting everything real. I didn't cut anything out. If I mess something up, knock something over, you got it. But people to watch: Banter 24/7, In the Pocket, Super Steel Steve, Grateful Panic, Big Red EDC, Jet Fuel EDC, Woodland Tactical, Blue Collar Survival, Jack Farm Boy. Don't be upset if I forgot you. I am going to compile a list of my most watched channels, like I said, and do a video. But if you could go check some of those people out too, that'd be great, and I'm sure they would all appreciate it. And otherwise, that's it for today. Right now that I can think of, that's where I'm headed for 2019. I know this video ended up being almost 30 minutes. I apologize. Nah, I don't. I like talking about what I was talking about today. It's almost 30 minutes. I appreciate everybody who subscribed to me in 2018. I think it's awesome that you guys even want to watch my videos and hear what I have to say. I want y'all to know that I absolutely do appreciate that you take time out of your day to watch the content that I put out. If there's anything you would like to see me do in 2019, write down below in the comments. go ahead and leave me a comment of maybe something you'd like to see, like to talk about. Maybe something that some of you guys know that I have that you'd like to see me do a test on. Anything like that. Go ahead and put that below. And as always, I appreciate your time, and thanks for watching.